each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
The views and opinions expressed on Trudging Together are solely those of the host, co-host, and our guests. They do not necessarily reflect the views of any organization, fellowship, or other entity, and definitely not your boss, your neighbor, or that one guy in your home group. The content of this program is not intended to replace medical, psychological, or professional advice. If you're looking for that, please seek guidance from qualified professionals who spent way too many years in school. What you'll hear here is based on lived experience, recovery journeys, and the occasional bad coffee-fueled joke. Trudging Together is not affiliated with any 12-step fellowship. We are simply people sharing our stories and walking this path together, one day at a time. Thank you for joining us, and remember, recovery is serious business, but that doesn't mean we can't laugh along the way.
It's Friday. Usually we do this on Tuesdays. Couldn't do it this week, but Roger and I are back for God-centered recovery. Good to see you, Roger. Feels like it's been like 5 days.
Yeah, good to be seen and good to see you, my friend.
Cool. Thank you. Your sound's going a little wobbly, but we're going to work with it anyway.
Exactly.
It'll probably hit or
Almost.
miss. You know, when things are free, that's what you're going to get.
Oh, you froze up. Gotcha.
You may even fade out a little bit here and there. If it gets too bad, I'll just turn off your camera. So we'll figure it out. So God will take care of it. Yeah. How you been doing, man?
Yes.
You've been doing a lot of traveling lately.
I'm actually leaving tomorrow for New Mexico and Arizona. I'll be gone. I'll be traveling all week next week. So I'm kind of looking forward to it. It's beautiful in the Southwest right now.
Yeah.
And over New Mexico and Arizona.
What are you going to be doing?
Really looking forward.
Is it all came to believe, or is it kind of personal? Is it for came to believe, or I think we're having some sound issues?
All business.
Yeah. All business? Good for you.
Thursday, Friday, the night. All business next week. Yeah, when I get back, then we have retreat, San Bernardino Salvation Army, the 19th through the 22nd.
Wow. That's cool stuff. You know, I'm doing
amazing.
Are you? Okay. It'll probably go up and down. We'll work with it. Hide camera. I've got some options here, but it gets too bad. I'll just hide your camera and help boost that up a little bit, because most of this is people just listening, so no worries. But hi, Michelle. Hi, Leisure. Good to see you both. Yeah, this is God-centered recovery. And we started this, I came up with the idea because I see a lot of people taking God out of recovery. They're like, we work with the whole person. Well, we help mentally and physically and emotionally, and then leave out spiritually. And kind of tired of places taking God out of recovery. So I figured, what a great way to learn. I am still learning the Bible myself. So Roger picks a proverb. Are you?
I keep losing.
Why don't you try this, Roger? I'm going to tell some jokes. Why don't you restart your device and come back, and we'll wait on you. No worries.
Okay.
Yeah, restart your device. That should help. And I will tell some jokes in the meantime. We'll see Roger back here in a minute.
All right, you got it.
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome. We don't usually do dad jokes on this one because we have a guest, but we're gonna go ahead and do that today. See, sometimes life happens, man, and you got to work with it. It's just kind of how life goes sometimes. So, but today, once we get Roger back, we will be talking about pride walks in before the fall. In the meantime, we're going to tell some science and nature jokes here. We're going to have a little fun while we're waiting on Roger. Probably shouldn't take but a few minutes here. So let's do it. It is time for Dion's Daily Funnies. I tried to catch some fog, but I missed. Missed, like M-I-S-T. Fog. Yeah. Time flies like an arrow. Fruit flies like a banana. Oh, that wasn't too bad. Why doesn't the sun need to go to college? Because it already has millions of degrees. Why can you never trust atoms? Because they make up everything. They make up everything, like literally. Everything is made of atoms. Right. Nature is so resourceful, it can make do with just water. True. It's true. They can make do with just water. All right. One more. I'm trying to draw this out as long as I can. A little bit of marine life here. Why was the whale sad? It lost its porpoise. Yeah. One more, and then I'm going to go ahead and kind of get us started here. Why do crabs never give to charity? Because they are shellfish. They're shellfish crabs. Good stuff. All right. Well, welcome. I don't have one up there, but welcome to God-centered recovery. Even though that says the Daily Trudge, I might be solo on this one. In which case, we'll just pick another one. We'll bring him back. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. Right. So, yeah, welcome. All right, let's see what we can get going here. So the proverb today is 11:2. Okay. And that proverb states, when pride comes, then comes disgrace, but with humility comes wisdom. And gosh, this is one I'd really, really like to hear Roger talk on. He had a reason. He has reasons for picking these. Hey, Jimmy, good to see you, man. We're having a little technical difficulty here. We're hoping that Roger makes it back on and can and we'll see. If God decides it doesn't happen, that's what's going to happen, man. Oh well, But one of the things that we do here is we show when things mess up, you still got to have a good attitude. You got to look for the solution. You got to look for the right things. Maybe God's trying to tell us something. Maybe he's saying, I don't want you talking on this today. Maybe he's got something better for Roger to do. I don't know. So let's get this started. Now, what we do here is Roger picks a proverb. I turn it into a recovery topic, and then we talk on it. So I'm going to go ahead and get us started. I bet I'll put money on it that he went to go restart his device and it's updating. Restart your devices, folks. All right. Okay. So when pride comes, then comes dishonor. But with the humble is wisdom, right? So how does this kind of mix with recovery? Well, let's see. Alcoholism, self-centeredness, ego problems, recovery, humility, and willingness. And that's where that starts to kind of fit. All right. Now, the thing is, when it comes to the big book, what they did is they just used different words for things, including the 7 deadly sins. 7 deadly sins are in here. I just renamed something else because we didn't want you to feel overwhelmed about all this. We didn't want you to have any, we didn't want to utilize your preconceived notions, I guess is what that kind of comes to, right? I will do the best that I can here, but I'm on a topic where I really rely on Roger. So you know. So let's start when pride comes. Okay. Now we can parallel that with the big book, selfishness, self-centeredness. That we think is the root of our troubles, driven by 100 forms of fear, self-delusion, self-seeking, self-pity. We step on the toes of our fellows and they retaliate, seemingly without provocation. But we invariably find that at some point in the past, we have made decisions which have later placed us in a position to be hurt, right? It's my selfishness. And, when it comes to my selfishness, man, especially if I've been drinking, and I'm drinking on the efforts, okay, then I'm hitting a level. What's the best way to put it? An alcoholic that is being blazed, that is just, that isn't seeing it, becomes very, very dangerous, right? And it's more than just the selfishness, self-centeredness. There's the pride, thinking that Dion knows best is one of the big ones. I was just speaking with a kid the other day. The guy's like 35, and he's jaundiced. And it's scary. He keeps putting it off, and putting it off, man, because he thinks he knows better. And I keep trying to get through. Hey, bud, all your best thoughts got you here. You keep calling me and asking for direction, but you're not following the direction. You just go do what it is that you want to do. Well, yeah, well, now there's this and there's that. I'm like, yeah, it's one thing after another. It's hard. Even to this day, if Dion thinks that he knows better, he's probably wrong. He's probably wrong. I know, at least for me, Oh, and Jimmy, happy birthday, man. Happy birthday. I'm not going to tell everybody how old he is. He's older than me, though, sucker. Not by much. We're so close in age. We probably could have graduated the same year. 1988 was my year. But happy birthday, Jimmy. Good job, man. Proud of you. Jimmy runs Fourth Dimension. All right. Sober living. And I would recommend it. They're one of the better sober livings in Colorado. Right. Yeah, I would make a joke, not that there's really much competition. All right, we got Roger back.
Hopefully this is all better now.
Yeah, we'll see. Hey, I did a pretty good. I did an okay job. I had just gotten started with the very first part, when pride comes. But what I'm going to do at this point is I'm just going to kind of let you talk about what you want to talk about on this, because they've kind of heard my voice a lot. So I'm going to let you take over at this point, because I'm really curious to hear what you have to say on this one. So I think we might be having the same problems. Can you hear me, Roger?
Well, I did. Proverbs 11, verse 2 says, "When pride comes, of pride and self-centeredness." It talks about self-centeredness has to be smashed, or it will program being open-minded, being willing, being rigorously honest, and learning to be humble.
Mm-hmm.
I know when I first heard all that, I came to realize over time that I was none of those. I was not honest, not open-minded. I wasn't willing. I became willing, but I mean, I had to learn what those things meant.
Yeah.
And what I needed was a sponsor to help me walk through the steps, which taught me how to be open-minded.
Mm-hmm.
be humble, how to be rigorously honest.
Yeah.
So, I'm a big acronym guy, as you know, and pride, PRIDE, is personal recovery includes deflating ego.
Uh-huh.
Maybe destroying ego is even a better word for the D, because there's no room for ego in our program. It's a
Mm-hmm.
selfless program, not a selfish program. And pride typically blocks out the sunlight of the spirit.
Oh,
You can be
absolutely.
you can be grateful. There's a difference between being proud of what we
Mm-hmm.
do and what we have accomplished and being grateful. I think an attitude of
Oh,
gratitude is a far better perspective, better place to be and to be proudful,
yeah.
because tends to say I have done. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to be patted on the back for doing things that I should have been doing my whole life. Now
There we
I want
go.
somebody
Yeah.
to acknowledge how good I am. It's just not the issue. The issue is I should be doing the right time for the right reason, right place to the right person the first time.
That's
And then
right.
I'm grateful that I'm
That,
learning how to
yep.
do God's will and not my will, you know? And
Yeah.
so I think I think wisdom comes from application of the principles. And as it says, but with the humble is wisdom. So,
Mm.
we admitted and we acknowledged in step one that our life was unmanageable, which is another way of saying
Yeah.
I'm the problem. When I'm managing my life, it's a problem, and I don't have that
Yes.
power or that control. I've already stopped
Mm-hmm.
drinking and using, still unmanageable. So now I come to step two. It says came to believe. I'm coming to believe. I came to believe, and I'll keep coming to believe because
Mm-hmm.
my faith is always growing. And it
Yeah.
keeps growing as I experience the power of doing God's will and not my will. And
Mm-hmm.
that brings wisdom. Wisdom and
Yeah.
experience go hand in hand. And so, anyway, I love Proverbs because it's very simple, straightforward about how to do life on life's terms with and through the power of God. And that's what the 12
And
steps teach.
and Lord knows I need simple. Is when it's simple, I'm better at following
I
direction. It's when I decide that I'm gonna add all
yes.
this other stuff to it that it starts to become more complicated. I really appreciate what you had to say because when I work with somebody new, we start on our living amends, and I tell them what you're going to do is you're going to take out the trash, right? And after you take out the trash, make sure you put another bag in it, right? Because that's what we do. And then you are not to
Right.
go to your significant other and say, "Look how great of a job I did." No, instead, you're going to go clean the bathroom now, and you're not going to ask for accolades because you were supposed to be doing this all along. And this helps us get back into that groove. You can, you
Right.
know, you
Yeah.
can either create your own gift with pride by saying, maybe you go on Facebook and look what a great job I did, and everybody's like, "Oh, you're so great." Or you can get the gift from God, which is humility, that humility portion, and I guarantee you
Yes.
that's going to be a lot more satisfying and sustainable than a lot of likes and loves from people you don't even know. And so people know we are having a
Well, yeah,
little
what I've
bit
come to
of
learn.
difficulty, so you're up.
Yeah, what I was saying was that what I've come to learn that the greatest feeling in the world is when you know that you know that you know that you're doing exactly what God wants you to do.
Mhm.
And I don't need someone to pat me on the back with that. I that
Nope.
internal feeling of joy and just knowing that you're doing what God called you to do,
Peace.
fulfill this that's in the program, which is clean house, trust God, and help others. When I do that,
Mhm.
I have no valid complaints and I am walking in freedom, and I don't need pats on the back because I know I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, what God wants me to
Mhm.
do, and that's the best.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love it. I love it.
And there's I believe that you can have gratitude in a few different ways. You can write a gratitude list, which
Right.
is a great way to start out your day. The gratitude that I really like is from a job well done, knowing that I did
Yeah.
everything that I could to help somebody else out, taking my time, holding space for other people, these types of things. Um, I find those even more rewarding. We were just talking even before, um, because a lot of people know I went through a little bit of depression this week, and we were talking about that a little bit. And I was talking about the way that I got through it was by getting out of self. I didn't change anything. Um, and that helped me get through the last couple of days because when I stopped focusing on myself and helping other people, my problems get solved.
Right. And they don't get solved, quote unquote. You're not thinking about them because you're trying.
That's right.
So mind is distracted from being caught in whatever going on with me inside, and I'm trying to help somebody else. And that connection is really very spiritually magical when you're helping
Hmm.
somebody else, and you don't expect anything in return. No
Yeah.
quid quo pro thing, no strings attached. I really want to help if I can. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, there's such joy and freedom in that.
Huh? Right before this, I was meeting with a sponsee, and you know how it is. They're like, "Thank you so much. You taking your time," but they don't understand that I'm probably getting more out of it than they are. I am getting a lot out of that interaction myself because every time I go through the big book, I see something
Yes.
new. So there's more discovery. I get to grow with another person, bring them into the brotherhood. So there's a lot of big gifts that I get just by just by doing that and making connections with other people. Um, I think probably the most humble thing you could do is helping somebody out without them knowing or telling anybody that you did it. And there'll be a little
Yep.
lag, folks, just so you know. Mm.
Man,
I think we
I'm still up on me. I'm having really hard time.
uh
Can you hear me okay?
It's gonna catch up, folks. Don't worry.
Dion, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. We're getting a lot of lag, brother. What I did is I turned off your
Dion?
camera. Yeah. Can you hear me? Now we're a Verizon commercial. Whew. All right. I've never been in this situation. I'm not sure what to do.
Man, I don't know. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah. I think we're getting a lot of lag. Can you hear me at all? All right. So, and hopefully things will clear up for Roger on the other end. It'll clear up. When we use these things, sometimes the internet doesn't quite
You're
work
absolutely
out
losing.
for us. Yeah. Am I still frozen? I'm not sure what to do. All right. Let's see if I have control over things. See if that kind of helps out a little bit. See if we can do that. Thank you, everybody, for being patient. I really appreciate it. For rewatchers, I kind of apologize. Um, can you hear me yet, Roger? All right. I'm going to do this. I'm going to send Roger a quick message here. Um,
Oh, it's weird. You're frozen.
all right. Can you hear me now, Roger? So, friends, this is what we're going to do. I'm sending him a message here, and we're going to reschedule this one. Yeah, Jimmy, I know you guys can hear us, but he can't hear me. So I just sent him a
I can hear
message,
you
go ahead,
now.
drop off. Oh, there we are. Okay. All right.
So you got rid of my camera. Maybe that's what needed to happen because now you just froze and it wasn't. I was hearing nothing and you weren't moving.
Well, the last thing that I brought up was that I think probably the most humble thing that you could probably do is doing something for somebody else without them knowing or telling anybody else you did it.
Yeah. Well, you hear sometimes go out and do something nice and don't get caught. That was someone
Yeah.
when I first came into the rooms. That would be his closing comment. Go out and do something nice and don't get caught. And when I thought about that and chewed on that, it was doing the right thing for the right reason and not
Yeah.
doing it because you wanted people to see what you were doing. And
Yep.
then, it's not about me. But the funny thing is the very thing that we were searching for all those times out there before we got clean and sober
Mm-hmm.
is the very thing that's deep and centered and we find in being of service to others.
Yeah. It's that usefulness.
Yeah.
It-
Not uselessness, but usefulness.
yeah, exactly. And humility is not thinking about it's not thinking less of yourself. It's about thinking of yourself less.
Right.
That I am not the only person in this world. But to me, my perception might be different than yours. And
Right.
I tend not to think outside of that. When I was
Yep.
drinking, that seemed like the only normal thing in the world to me.
We couldn't think outside of ourselves because everything that we thought was self-centered. We got
Yeah.
self-centered, self-seeking, and selfish. It took me a while in the program to understand that. I did not understand
Yeah.
how selfish I was. I just didn't. I didn't understand that every motivation I had was all about Roger.
Yeah.
And it's not that way today.
Yeah. It even when I was even when I thought I was being nice and
Right.
kind, there was always something sneaky in there that I was trying to get out of it. I was
Right.
always trying to get something out of everybody, even in my kindest moments.
Right. Even if it was merely an expectation of their response.
Yeah.
Even that, not tangible, but expecting them to respond in a certain way that was going to make you feel better about you. And it's not about that. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. I used to love to play this game with girls I dated and girlfriends. Was I would piss them off enough to get them to try and leave me, and then I would try and pull them back and save the relationship. And it was just it was crazy.
It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. And I would tell when I was dating, I would tell you, I'm pretty straightforward. I drink a lot, and if you try and make me stop, I'm gonna break up with you. I literally would tell them, and they still go out with me. I'm just very good at because they always thought they could change me, and there
Yeah.
was the challenge, right? I remember I was dating this one girl way beyond. She was way out of my league, right? And I asked her, I'm like, "Why are you going out with me? I don't understand. Why are we boyfriend girlfriend?" She said, "You're a fixer upper."
You're a
And
fixer
what
upper.
how close to the truth could you get?
Wow. she took pity on you and she was going to rescue you and fix
Right.
you.
Yeah, and we did not. It wasn't until she interfered. That didn't make me leave or anything. It just became more of a challenge. And then she tried to control my drinking. Then it was over with. So
Oh man.
yeah,
When we look back on all that old behavior, it's pretty comical and really very very evil to be honest.
it is.
Yeah.
And I'm laughing. I'm not laughing at. I'm laughing at myself when we talk about that because do I still have shame and say absolutely? I don't know about shame, but regret on the
Regret,
way
sure.
I
Yeah.
treated a lot of people. They didn't deserve that. But I thought that's how life worked. I thought everybody was running around pulling the wool over everybody's eyes. I just
Yeah.
figured I was better at it.
Yeah, it's funny the way we think that everybody is like us, and
Yeah.
no, they're not.
Oh.
Normal people don't do or think or say the things that we do.
That's right. Their heads don't race all day, But one thing's true for everybody, which I find weird, that everybody in the world is a horrible driver but me, and it holds true for everybody.
Yes. It's my highway and you're in my lane.
That's right. You're in my way.
Yeah.
Don't you know how important I am?
Yeah.
Um, you should tell you how important I think I am when I'm drunk.
Oh my goodness.
It's an old
My
joke.
my sponsor would say to me every day it'd be his parting comment would be, "Stay out of the way.
Yeah.
Stay out of the way."
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
So, yeah, in the big book, we would call this selfishness, right?
Right. Right.
Self-centeredness. Then comes the dishonor, and the dishonor in this case for us is the consequences that our
Right.
lives have become unmanageable, that we have to realize that we're playing God and we have to quit playing God. That's the dishonor here, right?
Yeah.
Am I
Yeah.
close on that? Yes. See, I'm learning.
I just love. I'm always so grateful that Bill was able to codify the steps into a way that takes us on this journey of
Yeah.
uncovering, discovering, and discarding
Mm.
all of the craziness,
Yeah.
all the character defects, all the stuff that many of us didn't know we had. So we get rid of the
Mhm.
drugs and alcohol. So now we see things clearly,
Yep.
and now we start to deal with all of the issues and the problems, and we find out it's not drinking and drugs, it's actually me.
Yes.
And when I acknowledge that, then I'm able to realize that I can't blame any person, place, or thing for my
Yeah.
consequences. It's those consequences are a direct result of my actions, and
Yep.
my actions were not they're not acceptable. They're not acceptable to me,
Correct.
and so then God helps me change from the inside out, so I become the man that He created me to be, and
Yeah.
that is a joy.
And you know what? At first it's scary
Yeah.
because it's kind of unknown. Then it becomes an adventure
Yes.
because you don't know.
Yeah.
Once you
Yeah.
go through it a little bit and start to have some courage and get used to the process, this whole thing becomes an adventure now. And now you're the hero from Lord of the Rings or whatever
Yeah.
fantasy stuff you
Yeah.
like. This is what this stuff is based off of. Um, Regular everyday people becoming heroes, the
Yeah.
unexpected, right?
Right.
Um,
With humility.
yeah, with humility. And they
It's
always have humility. Am I the right person? Should I be? They question themselves
yeah.
a lot.
And the other side of the coin is that false pride where,
Mhm.
I'm either better than or less than.
There it is.
I'm
Yep.
not just okay. They're both ego issues, that whole ego, edging God out and trying to
Mhm.
play God. Well, we can't it doesn't work.
No.
It doesn't
And
work.
and they're the same side of the coin.
Yes.
Whether because we alcoholics think we're either the crap or a piece of crap.
Right.
When really we're neither, because God don't make crap.
He does
I
not
agree
make
with
crap.
that.
Yeah.
We gotta find balance in there. We
Yeah.
gotta find where it's gonna be okay in the middle. I know I don't feel the need to have the attention from the accolades from other people.
Right.
So when we go through this, we start to discover who we are, and self-worth starts to flower and spring
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. Yeah, that whole idea of self-care and self-worth, which is doing the right thing, applying to the principles in all our affairs and let the results be the results and learn the lesson along the way, it really becomes a wonderful adventure. I love
Mhm.
it. I
Yeah.
freaking love it. It doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. It doesn't mean it's not painful at times. There can be
Mhm.
trauma, tragedy, and all that stuff. But
Absolutely.
at the end of the day, that's going to pass. At the
Mhm.
end of the day, I didn't have to drink and use. I
That's
didn't
right.
have to lie, cheat, and steal. I can walk through things with integrity and principles, I
Mhm.
never did that before.
Nope.
Never, never, never.
Yeah. And I don't have to do it alone anymore either.
No, it's a we program.
Yeah.
First word and the first step. We.
Yeah. That's what you know, and it's true. We do this together. When I was going through what I was going through this week, I didn't hide it. I let people know, and there were a lot of people sure that reached out and I appreciated that. Now, if I had been drinking, there's no way any of that would happen.
Right. Or
Or
you wouldn't have
even if
told
I just been
anybody.
sober and not
Y-
in recovery, it still would have been worse.
Right. You would have isolated and
Yeah.
got deeper into darkness
Yeah.
instead of going, having people pray for you, pray with you, and
Uh-huh.
go out and communicate with people or talk to a newcomer or whatever. I
Yeah.
mean, who better? Every newcomer goes, we all go through times of depression. So
Absolutely.
would you get to share that you're not unique, you get it too. We all
Yeah.
go through that.
Yeah.
Then you walk
And
through it, you get to the other side, you learn something you didn't know.
yeah. And then you have a stronger relationship with your higher power. You have a stronger relationship with other people.
Yeah.
And then you have a stronger relationship with yourself. What this does, it starts to build in internal trust.
Yeah.
Because when I got here, I didn't trust me. There's no I didn't trust me at
Right.
all.
You knew
I
who you were.
Yeah. It's like I wouldn't leave the house with more than $2.10. Dollar for the basket, $1.10 for the coffee. And I
Yeah.
can't get drunk off $2.10. Maybe $5. I could, get started,
Yeah.
but I couldn't get drunk off $2. And I did that for years
Yeah.
because I just didn't trust myself. I didn't carry around a credit card or debit card or anything,
I
just
get
enough
it.
to get me by.
Yeah. I
Now, if
get it.
God gave me $1 million, I wouldn't spend a dime of it on alcohol.
Oh,
That's a hint, God.
I wouldn't either. Why
Yeah.
why would I do that?
Yeah. I'd spend it on alcoholics, but not
Yeah.
alcohol.
Yeah. Well, we can invest in God's work and that pays big dividends. Big
Yeah.
dividends. Yeah,
So
for
and
sure.
so there's a turning point in this, which is the humility.
Yes.
And if we were to put these into steps, they'd probably be 1, 3, and 7, where we become admit that we're powerless, we turn over our will in our life, and then we humbly ask them, right? And that
Right.
humility, to me, they talk about the doorway a lot. And I believe that humility is that doorway. We call it the
Yes.
key of willingness. We talk about this arc. We talk about you're going to create a door through which you're going to walk a free man.
Right. Yes. You know what Dr. Bob said about humility? Let's see if I can read this. He said, humility, perpetual quietness of heart. It
Oh,
has to,
wow.
perpetual quietness of heart. It
Yeah.
is to have no trouble. It is to never be fretted or vexed, irritable or sore, to wonder at nothing that is done against me. It is to be at rest when nobody praises me and when I am blamed or despised. It is to have a blessed home in myself where I can go and shut the door and kneel to my Father in secret and
Wow.
be at peace, as in
Wow.
a deep sea of calmness when all around and all about is seeming trouble.
Wow.
That's what he wrote. That's what Dr. Bob
Wow.
wrote. I mean, that
Man,
is
I got work to do.
oh man.
I got work to do.
I mean, that's a
Dr.
lot right there.
Bob. Oh, no, that was
That
fantastic.
yeah, it's so and all of that is not natural to us. It takes work and
Yeah.
surrender and prayer and application of principles to get to where that is.
Mm-hmm.
It is to be at rest when nobody praises me and when I am blamed or despised. It is to have a blessed home in myself where I can go and shut the door and kneel to my Father in secret and be at peace, as
Yeah.
in a deep sea of calmness, when all around and all about is seeming trouble.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
And what and And what a beautiful place to be. And it's not that I haven't experienced that. Absolutely.
Right.
Serenity and calamity they do mix.
Yeah.
They do mix. But, you know, but there was a part in there where he went and looked for direction first.
Yes.
And the
Yeah.
direction was be at peace.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. I just love that.
That's good stuff, man.
Yeah.
But so it's that humility kind of makes that turning point for us, right? And in the beginning, humility for us really is just asking for help.
Right.
Hey, my life's unmanageable and I need some help walking into your AA room or whatever place you go walking into, your groups, and admitting for the first time that you might have problem and that you need help. That is the acme of humility.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Takes a lot more courage to ask for help than it does to shove it down inside and let it come out as anger. 'Cause that's what I did for a very long time.
I think
Being teachable, letting go of control.
yes.
Yay.
Yes. I'm sort of becoming addicted to being not in control. It's that's a joy to you know what I mean? It's
I
like,
do know
yeah,
what you mean.
I don't need yeah, I don't have the answer to that, but I know who does, so I'm gonna leave it in his hands and try and do
Yeah.
what he wants me to do, so I'll be okay.
Well, that's because I know what happens if I'm in control.
I do too, yeah. But I
And it's
still
not
want to.
pretty.
I still want to.
Sure, I have those urges.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And when I started a meeting, grassroots, about, well, it's been a little over a year and a half now. And I get excited because in the beginning I do everything because I started the meeting. It's just how it went.
Right.
And then slowly people started taking things over. Now, often I go to the meeting, I don't have to do anything. If Dion didn't show up, the meeting would still happen. And that makes me so happy.
Right. Right.
It makes me
Yeah,
happy because I have no control over it, which means it's going to be perfect. And that makes me happy.
I totally understand.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't want to go back to being naive. Some days, actually, I wish I was actually a little naive about some things, but you know, um, wish in one hand, poop in the other. So, um, so yeah, we make that turning point with humility, and then a new life that was given to us, and then we became willing, and then we become open minded as the dying can be to live another life. Am I close on that?
Yes, absolutely.
Shots in the dark here. Shot in the dark.
Yeah, I think people probably get tired of listening to me talk about it, but I'm just so grateful.
I'm not tired of listening to you talk about it, and it's my show, so you go for it.
I just am so grateful that I finally accepted the fact that God put me right where he wanted me to be, and I want to be there. I had to
Mhm.
accept the fact that I want to be there, and I
Yeah,
want to do his will instead of mine, and the journey has been such a blessing, such a gift.
yeah,
And I just have to live in 10, 11, and 12 every day. And when I do that, I have a good day. And when I don't, I don't. And it's kind of just like that.
yeah,
It's like I don't have any yeah buts and well and all these if whatever. I just don't have to go there anymore. But my mind wants to. It's funny because I
yeah.
gotta have those conversations with myself all the time.
Mhm.
It's my spot whenever I get caught up in circular thinking or whatever. My sponsor would just say, "Grow up, Roger. Just grow up."
Yeah.
And I could say that to myself today and just laugh and look up at heaven and say, "That's all your fault, Tim." That was my
Isn't it
sponsor.
funny that we still hear things people have said to us, like the simplest things,
Oh my
you
gosh.
know, and I don't hear it in my voice when it pops in my head. It's their voice.
Right.
Um, and I love it, man,
Me
because
too.
that's God speaking directly to me.
Yes. And here's another thing that I learned that took a long time. I've learned that God never did anything to me, but
Aha.
He does everything for me.
Yeah.
And and then the yeah buts come in. Yeah, but why? It's like I stopped asking why too. If He
Yeah.
wants me to know something, He'll let me know. Otherwise, I'm on a need to know basis, and I don't need to know why. I just need to do the right thing. I just need to pray and follow His will. I
Mhm.
just need to be of maximum service to Him and others. I don't need to know the whys. I just
And
don't.
I,
What difference does it make if He tells me why? I wouldn't understand it
yeah,
anyway, nor agree with it.
I'm still gonna have to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, right?
And I was told that if I ask why, I'm arguing with God.
That's
That,
well, I came to that conclusion because
yeah.
that's exactly what I'm doing. If
Yes.
I'm asking God why, that means that I don't agree with something that took place.
Hmm.
See, God is sovereign or He's not, and He is.
Mm.
He's sovereign,
Oh yeah.
and He knows the beginning from the end, and I don't. Why
That's
am I
right.
asking someone who knows everything, created everything, why?
Yeah.
It's like, really, Roger? If you
And
read the book, if you
he's
read the
just
story
saying
of
what
Job and the
our
yeah,
he's just saying what our parents said because I said so.
right.
Okay. That's
And
why.
yeah, and that's because they said that because they knew better.
Yeah.
They knew better for us. They didn't
Yep.
need to explain it.
Well, that's like, because I had, for me, when it comes to being an alcoholic, of course I asked why. And I think the best answer I could come up with was because I can help when no one else can. And that part had to satisfy me
Right.
because isn't that the greatest gift ever that God's saying,
Yes.
you hopeless, helpless, chronic alcoholic, you're the one that
Yes.
can save my children. I think that's a great
What?
thing.
Yeah.
It's kinda scary too,
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
right?
Just grateful.
Yeah.
Just grateful.
Michelle says, "Taking out the why, I feel relief with that." Yeah, because now you don't have to wonder about it. We alcoholics like to really think about other things. Um, I was just talking with a sponsee earlier, how it's easy to get caught up in worldly clamors and that we have to avoid those things. So, pick your place. I mean, we all have opinions and we have things like that, but do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? I believe is a saying. Uh,
Yes. Yeah. I want to be happy. I want to be filled with joy.
yeah.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So you got any closing remarks for us on Proverbs 11:2?
I just say that I would suggest that if people don't, I tell them to read the there's 30 proverbs in the
Mm-hmm.
31 proverbs in the Bible. So there's one for every day. And Solomon was purported to be the wisest man in the world. And
Mm-hmm.
he learned many things through taking wrong taking wrong actions and making, all the mistakes that we get to make. So
Mm-hmm.
these little sayings, many of the things were incorporated into the big book and into the principles of the steps and so
Yeah.
forth. And I would just say that, if you want to learn more about humility, read about it. Read what Dr. Bob said.
Mm.
That is so deep and it's so foreign to the alcoholic and the addict.
Yeah.
I didn't have a humble bone in my body when I came into the program. I definitely understood humiliation. I knew that, but
Yeah.
I
That
didn't know
we were good friends. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, but I didn't know anything about being humble.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It
that
was
that,
something I had to learn. It had to be taught to me. I just didn't
that
understand it.
yes, yeah, and sometimes do the very things that you don't want to do. Sometimes is the best teacher and how we learn
Mm.
to do things. It's like when I know I need to do something that is the right thing to do and I don't want to do it, that's the very thing I need to do.
Yeah.
And I do. I stop asking the question why because I don't honestly, it doesn't matter anymore why.
No, that's the thing. It doesn't matter. The only thing that
Yeah.
matters is right here and now. And if I'm
Yes.
asking why, I'm not living in the now. I'm living before or after this day.
Right. Yeah, I just say read about humility, pray about humility, see what Dr. Bob wrote about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's that saying what he wrote is very deep, and it really is the essence of his 15 years of sobriety. There was not a more humble man that I'm aware of in those days, Dr. Bob Smith. Now
I've now got, yeah.
parting. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm just saying I pulled it up on my Google because I'm gonna make a topic out of that thing. It's
Yeah,
beautiful. I'm
it
gonna
is
post it all
beautiful,
over the place.
and it says everything. It
It
says it
did.
all.
Isn't it
Yeah, and
amazing the words that God gave Dr. Bob and Bill in the first 100?
yes,
Um,
yes,
I say it often. AA was divinely inspired, and that's why I
100,
like it. It
100%.
wasn't. No one made it. God created it, and now
Yeah,
here we are.
yes, yeah.
So. Well, as we end, for my listeners, you might want to ask yourself a few things to make sure that you are living in this proverb. Am I being teachable? Am I asking for help? Am I trying to control outcomes? These are great questions to ask yourself for some internal honesty, for to lead to humility. Are you needing accolades from other people still in order to feel okay with yourself? If so, it's all right, because becoming aware of it is the first step. I would recommend reading The Next Frontier Emotional Sobriety by Bill W. That would be a great place to start with dealing with emotional sobriety. Um, Thank you, everybody, for being here. Roger, I know we had some hiccups in the beginning, so thanks for sticking it out with me. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Sometimes that happens, and we just have to be an example of what happens when things go wonky.
That's right.
Well,
Yeah, I
so
don't have to ask why either. We just kept
yeah, we
doing
never
what we
did.
were going to
Why is
do.
this happening? No, we got right to the solution.
That's exactly
Look at
right.
us. We're doing so well. If people could compliment us on that, that'd be great.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. That,
Uh,
that just totaled the whole show. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. We love you. You
we
know
love
we
you big.
do.
Yep. Make
Peace
it a great,
out.
humble weekend.
You do the same. Remember, everybody, no one ever, ever, ever trudges alone.